So this is sunny Zambia. I'm quite excited. Whilst I know a thing or two about their beautiful gemstones, as yet I know very little about the country, very little about the people. A little bit apprehensive because normally you know a lot about the country before you arrive. This time it's going to be a real adventure. Let's go and see what happens. Zambia sits between the equator and the latitude of Capricorn. Now because of this, it's a tropical country, beautiful green vegetation all around us. And I think this is fantastic and reminds me very much of Zambian emeralds, because with the Zambian emeralds, not only do you get this delicious body green coming through, but also undertones of blue from the sky. How rare is Zambian emerald? Well, I'm here to tell you it's incredibly rare. Around 500 million years ago, a pegmatite broke through a layer of rock, a layer of rock that here in this emerald belt in Zambia we call our talc magnetite schist, TMS. And 500 million years ago, it came through. The magma, the molten lava, raced through towards the surface of the earth. And as it did, it was carrying beryllium. Now, you need all these different elements to come together to create a beautiful, beautiful emerald. In this TMS, there was traces of chromium. So we've got the chromium, we've got the beryllium coming up up to the surface of the earth. And this is creating a cocktail of elements. If you haven't got those cocktail elements, you don't end up with emerald. But that's only part of the story. Once you've got your cocktail, you need the right temperature, you need the right pressure, and you need the right amount of time for it to cool. So you really have these 4 different elements all coming together. And that is why emerald is so incredibly rare. There is so many things and so many variables that have to come together to be able to produce one of the world's most famous, one of the world's most beautiful and intriguing gemstones.
The main reason for my visit to Zambia isn't to see the incredible wildlife that it's famous for, but to visit the emerald mines in the Copper Belt, which is home to some of the best emeralds in the world and some of the finest emeralds that you'll see on Gems TV.
After 35 kilometres of dust road and pebbles and rocks and dust, not a piece of tarmac inside, we're just arriving now at Gemfield's main mine in Zambia. They've got several mines. They've got one for one for amethyst in the south, but here towards the north in the Copper Belt, this is their famous Zambian Emerald Mine. Security is very, very high. We've already gone through a number of security checks already, and this is probably about security check number 3, and we're still some kilometre away. And the reason why security is so high, of course, here is we're talking about one of the rarest gemstones on the planet, one of the absolute most beautiful gems on the planet. And because of the rarity and because of the cost, then security is indeed very, very tight. I'm here in Zambia in front of Gemfield's Emerald Mine. It's absolutely vast. It is probably the biggest coloured gemstone mine in the world when we're talking about open pit mining. But why does it have to be so big? Well, the reason it has to be so big is these little green gemstones are incredibly rare. We have to move 12 million grams of rock. We have to excavate it to get down to find the little rare pieces. 12 million to get 1 little gram of emerald. A 12 million to 1 chance of finding your beautiful emeralds. That makes Zambian emerald incredibly rare. As always, when you travel around the world, you need experts. I'm more of a fanatic than an expert, so I'm joined by Rob Gessner. Rob, you're one of the gemologists here, and before that you were at Tanzanite 1. What are the main sort of basic differences between mining for emeralds and tanzanites? Are there any key basic differences? Or
I think with tanzanite we spent our time underground.
Yeah.
Here it's obviously open cast. That's the major difference, besides the gemstone itself being blue versus green. Tanzanite, very new stone. Emerald, historic stone. It's both 2 different kettles of fish, very difficult, very different, but geology both complex, but both exciting.
Why is it that sort of tanzanite then, because you've mined both, tanzanite tends to be a lot more clear and emeralds have a lot more inclusions? Is it to do with the way they are formed, or what's the main... I remember sort of learning about tanzanite, they were more in pockets and sort of big, where the earth rolls around and overlaps with big holes. But here we've got a different scenario, haven't we? And a lot more pressure, a lot more temperature, and one of the reasons why it's included... Am I making sense? What's the difference? Why is it more included, basically, is the question?
Emeralds, it's basically cut down to their chemical formula and the building blocks of an emerald. Also, the rock type it crystallizes in is inherent to other minerals getting included into the gemstone as it crystallizes. So this is, it's growing and forming with other minerals, emeralds, whereas tanzanite actually formed in voids or pockets in the earth. So there was very little to get trapped in and included into it, tanzanite.
I noticed, and we're going to have a look a bit later on, that you're now going underground here as well. So you're taking your experience from Tanzanite 1 and going underground. That certainly in Zambia is quite a new thing for emerald mining.
Yeah, I think it's historically, but also due to the conditions, and it's never really been done properly. We are now a year into underground mining, basically checking boxes in terms of whether we're able to support the rock, whether we're able to handle the water, are we able to get the volumes of rock out to get the volumes of emeralds that we need. And so far so good. We are just achieved over 100 meters underground this past month.
Excellent.
So progress is going well.
This pit first started in 1975. It's taken a long time to excavate all the earth and the rock to get down to this level, some 100 meters below ground level. We're now starting to find some really, really nice emeralds. Still very rare, still very small quantities, still 1 in 12 million grams is going to yield a beautiful piece. But this week we've been quite fortunate. We might not have bought them great weather from the UK, but what we have bought is a bit of good luck, because we have found 1 or 2 really nice pieces over the last week. It's one of the most exciting days I've ever had in my whole career in gemstones. Normally I can be in mines for weeks, I can be in areas for months and still never come across a real genuine gemstone in the host rock. This is the first time in my life that I've seen it. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of a trick. They discovered this about a week ago and they knew we were coming, so they left it in the host rock for us to have a look how it forms. Take a look, it is just incredible. This is emerald that has taken 500 million years to form. It's had the right amount of heat, 700 to 900 degrees. It's had the right amount of pressure. It's had the right amount of chromium. It's had everything absolutely perfect. And that is why 100 meters below the surface, we find just this one piece. It's so rare, but it is so beautiful. Just about to go 40 meters underground looking for emeralds in Zambia. And what's unusual about this is that most emerald mining around the world is open pit, open cast mining. But here in Zambia, with the advancement of technology, we're now going to go deeper and deeper looking for those elusive emeralds. And that's quite important because emeralds are becoming harder and harder to find at lower sort of depths. So we're going to go lower, underground, in a shaft mine. Slightly dangerous in the sense that the surrounding rocks is quite loose, but the guys sort of guarantee me that they've done a good job at supporting the roof of the mine. We're going down some 60-70 metres in this shaft. It's Gemfield's way of exploring underground emeralds. So we normally see open pit mining, but this one we've got to go deep, deep down to try and find some of those incredibly beautiful, incredibly vibrant green Zambian emeralds. Nothing quite like a Zambian emerald. Let's go and see if we can find some for ourselves. You come all this way down. This is waste. This is waste. And all we're looking at is this small seam.
Yeah. So in this case, we've only got, okay, it's about 10 or 12 centimeters thick.
Yeah.
Whereas in the pit we saw it a lot thicker.
Yeah.
Here's the footwall contact, so joining and becoming our tri-junction area, we've got quite a thick footwall, but a very narrow discordant reaction zone.
So the only place we're going to find the emeralds is in this small 20 centimetre here and then 2 or 3 square foot here.
Yes. And now the difference between underground, you've got access to the entire footwall. Here, we've only got 2.5 meters by 2.5 meters to access the same zone because you need to use support.
It's a lot of work for a few emeralds.
A lot of work goes into it, but if we've been mining about since January this year. We've got 110 meters underground, so it's about 15 to 18 meters a month.
Wow, that's quite good progress.
So we do make good progress, yes.
Wherever an emerald is discovered, it's locked away in a metal box and security guards carry it to the secure sorting house. All of the other rocks extracted from near the reaction zone are then washed and sorted and put onto conveyor belts, making sure that no single stone is left unturned.
Well, looking for a needle in a haystack. This is 1% of the rough that comes out of the mine. The rest of it, the 99%, it's got no chance. It's not in what we call the reaction zone. So this is from the bit that the gemologists have told us has got the best chance of including emeralds. I've been here for 3 hours and as yet I've not found a single potential gemstone. So let's get this right. We're in Zambia. There's only this tiny little one strip of Zambia, the Emerald Belt, where we've got a chance. We then excavated the mine. There's only 1% where there's a chance within the mine we're going to get it. That comes all the way down here, and in 3 hours I've still not found a single emerald.
Each piece of emerald is then transported to a guarded location so it can be analysed and sorted based on varying factors such as its colour, size and quality.
It's amazing, isn't it? We're in one mine, mining just one gemstone, and here they still, even at the rough stage, split the parcels down into 200 different grades. That's the beautiful thing. Out of one mine, you get grades from completely opaque through to the really, really rich and rare and expensive top-grade emeralds. It's not different from location to location. Just in one mine, up to 200 different grades. The beautiful thing about Zambian emeralds is the way it splits the light in two. You buy yourself a little dichroscope from Gem Collector and have a look at your emeralds, especially if they're Zambian emeralds. You'll find vivid blues and vivid greens coming through. It is one of the most delicious gemstones on the planet.